Sabah everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Note 7. It was just announced actually as of today, the 19th of August 2016. It's available on T-Mobile and I did receive mine today. But not only that, I received the Note 7 and I also got the new Gear VR that's compatible with the Note 7. So this is TK. Let's go ahead and do an unboxing and initial impressions of the Note 7 and the brand new revamped Gear VR. Here we have the Note 7 box. The device itself is the 64 gig model, the 4G LTE capable, 5.7 inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display, 12 megapixel dual pixel camera. This is very similar again to the S7 and the S7 Edge. 5 megapixel front facing camera, IP68 dust and water resistance. Iris scanner, which is something that is new to the line, again new to all of the Galaxy lines. Secured by Samsung Knox, and this is something that's normal. Also, a really new thing here that we have is the base model is 64 gigabytes. We no longer have the 32 gigabyte model of the Note, like the Note 5 had 32 gig model base and then 64. This is right out of the box 64 gigs with the support of an external micro SD card. So we have the return of the SD card to the Note line. Let's go ahead and open it up. And it is opened. Go ahead and put our knife away. And let's go ahead and do it together. And here we are, the blue Note 7. Looks very nice. Looks like it has a small screen protector already put on with the information here. Main thing that tells us here that we have the SIM removal tool that will help us reject the SIM tray, that you can put in an SD card and a micro SIM that gives us the ability to get our connectivity. This is the T-Mobile variant, so we're going to be getting LTE connections on here. And I just took out the SIM removal tools just so that we can actually access the tray. Other than that, we have our Samsung charger. This is adaptive fast charging. Very similar to the one we had before. The only main difference that we have now is because this charging brick does not have a built-in cable, you're able to basically use the USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable that they now provide us, as the new Note 7 now has a USB Type-C connector. The other thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of, this is the 5.7 inch display. It has a lot of nice curvature on it. And then I'll put this information on the side. We have a micro USB to USB Type-C adapter, just in case you don't have enough cables. It should be able to help you minimize the frustration of not being able to charge up your device. Additional tips for the S Pen, standard option. Of course, we have the OTG cable. Now, if you've had the S7 or the S7 Edge, this used to be micro USB. Now it's USB Type-C. And the intention of it essentially is that you can just plug it in directly into your device in any direction and it will work, giving you the ability of either using USB type devices or transferring data from your old device to your new one. And then last but not least, standard earbuds. And we'll go ahead and take off the front one as well, as if it was clear without any information on it, I would have been totally fine. But it has a lot of information on it. And here we are. Let's go ahead and boot it up for the first time. You get that vibration. Here we are. It's booting up. Again, this is the T-Mobile variant. First boot on the device. Going through the specs and what we have here, we have pretty much what we expected before. A 12 megapixel back-facing shooter, a 5 megapixel front-facing shooter. We do have the addition of the iris scanner. That's something very new. Looks like I have 58% battery life on the device. The fingerprint sensor, super fast, very nice fingerprint sensor. And then we have, of course, the back-end recents app. As far as the left side of the device, we have the volume rocker. And you'll notice here that the tampering here is a little bit different than what we've had in previous versions of the Galaxy devices. It's tampered exactly the same on both ends, so the device feels the same when you're holding it backwards and forward, where we had it with the S7 Edge, you kind of felt it like the S7 Edge and the Note 5 kind of were backwards to each other. Power button on the right side, not that much else. On the top, we have an additional microphone, the SIM tray, and the SD card tray, so you need to remove this to be able to connect to it. And we have a little Qualcomm chip. This is the Qualcomm 820 running version, so this is the Exynos, not the Exynos version. On the bottom, we have the S Pen, clickable, very, very nice. Put it back in. It does match the color of the actual device. And what we have here again is the speaker grill, USB Type-C, an additional microphone, and the 3.5mm headphone jack, which I really, really appreciate, as some of the devices that I've reviewed that don't have it recently have kind of got me frustrated. Overall, as far as aesthetics in the back, we have the 12 megapixel dual pixel camera. Still, we have the dual LED flash with the heart rate sensor, so you get all this functionality. The branding just Samsung Note 7. On the front, Samsung. No indication that this is a T-Mobile variant other than when you turn it on, which is very nice. And again, not that big branding there. Powering it on real quick, we're gonna set it up and go through. I don't have a SIM card in it, so we're just gonna go through and check out the UI. Before we go too far, I wanna kind of show you guys real quick aesthetically. Comparing it to the S7 Edge, this is the black version of the S7 Edge from earlier this year. You can see size-wise, they're very similar. This is a 5.5-inch display. This is a 5.7-inch display. Both Quad HD, both support the same type of camera. So you're noticing the setup is pretty much the same. Although I see here that the, I guess the mechanism here is a little bit bigger, but I think it's more for aesthetics, that the sensor is exactly the same. What we have is a little bit of a different curvature on the device. So if I put it in this way, you'll notice the S7 Edge has more of a downward curve where it's flat on the back, where with the Note 7, now you have that curvature on both ends. It's very nice, very distinctive. 5.7 here, 5.5. Same amount of, same amount of storage. We have 32 gigs, 64 gigs, same amount of RAM. Again, same connectors other than the fact that this is USB Type-C and this is micro USB. We'll go start. Let's go home. Okay, so here we are on the home screen. You'll notice that there's the Edge application. This is very similar. It says copy content from an old device. I'm just gonna say, keep it up for later. If I swipe from the right side on the Edge, we have access to the same similar applications that we had on the S7 Edge. Very, very nice to see that this can carried over to the Note. Home screen, we have the briefing tab on the left. If you want to disable it, you just have to press and hold. And then you can go to the briefing tab and turn it on or turn it off. So if you don't want the briefing tab on the left side, you could just turn it off, which I don't. So I'm going to go back to the home screen and it's no longer there. On the right side, we just have some more additional bloat that's installed. They have the T-Mobile application, device unlock, hotspot, T-Mobile app, the T-Mobile ID, and of course Amazon is pre-branded. And then of course, just some applications that are Samsung specific. All the Google Play applications are installed. Android Pay is actually installed even. And then you have the ability of turning on Samsung Pay if you'd like to be able to turn that on. We'll go back, actually do that later. We do have an app drawer, which gives us access directly. It's a one-page app drawer with the search button on top. We can edit it as far as customizing the order of different things, deleting things, very nice. But you still have the action, the search bar up there. Notification panel from the top. The color scheme that we have by default is somewhat of a white color scheme, so excuse the color saturation or the color representation on the screen right now. Still have the ability of interacting with them. You can customize it, change it. You have the S-Device search here. We can go into settings. Settings has been revamped. The setup, at least, is very different now. What we have is connection, sound, notifications, display. So they're organized them by function. They're no longer just the way the standard organization that we have within the Android settings tab. So if I want to go into, let's say, help, or I guess not help. Well, let's see here. This is the user manual and general management accessibility. Let's go under general management, where is about Android version 6.0.1. Let's go ahead and get that. Android M Marshmallow. We'll go back. And then the model number is SMN930T. That's the T-Mobile version. Galaxy Note 7 is the device name. And then, of course, you can customize that name here if you want. Diagnostic report, scheduled software update is off, download updates manually, all of that is in there. Google information, this is where you go in and set up your Google setup information as far as settings. Cloud accounts, connections, this is where you'll have your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, your device visibility on the Bluetooth network, data usage, airplane, NFC. It's really kind of organized in a way more functionally. Sounds, you can go in and set up all the different sounds, touch sounds, all the different things as you're turning it on, and I like to disable all of these. There's no reason to hear all those sounds. Keyboard sounds, again, don't need that. Keyboard vibration, again, also. This is specifically for the Samsung keyboard. And then we'll go back here. We have display. This is where we can get in and check out some of this. So we have font. I chose small as part of the setup, and I can go tinier, which means basically increase the amount of information I can fit on my screen. I'm just going to keep it here for now. And you can download additional fonts. By default, it's just set to the system default right now. Easy mode, standard easy mode. So you have the ability of adding all your applications on the home screen and making it into more of a simple UI. No app drawer. Everything is really on the home screen, and you get some functionalities by default. I'm going to keep the standard because that's the standard one I usually use. Screen timeout is 30 seconds, always on display. If you want to turn it on, this is standard to what we have. My understanding is that we do have better compatibility with applications on it now, so we'll have a chance to check that out within the full review. Screensaver, stay on. Wallpapers and themes, of course, you have the theme engine, which is something that's very nice here within Samsung. You can actually download different themes from the theme store, install them, icon packs, and so on. Very customizable, no longer needed to actually have rooted devices to be able to do all of these things. Advanced features, so we'll go here. Quick launch of the camera by double pressing the home button, pop-up video gesture, smart capture, palm swipe, direct call, all of these smart gestures that we've had in the past. One-handed operation, game mode, of course, this is something that you can turn on when you're playing games, and you can record different options. Video enhancer enhances the image quality of your videos. So we'll go in here as it's playing the video. If I turn it on, it brightens the screen. It gives it more of a punch kind of a look. So we'll go ahead and set that up. Let's keep that on. I like that. And then we'll go back. Device maintenance. This just gives us basically how much we have RAM, storage, battery, and so on. So it's saying it's checking the device. 100%. Oh, 100. Excellent. So let's look at the battery. Battery is 57%. The app power monitor, of course. Power saving mode is off, but now we have toggles as far as mid and max, where we have a normal power savings on the old system, and then we have ultra power savings. Now we just have mid and max, and then unmonitored, and then we'll go back. And here you can go to battery usage and see what's been using. Again, the device been just turned on for the first time. Storage, right out of the box, we have access to 52.3 gigabytes of storage out of the 64 gigs that we had. 11.7 of those gigs have been used by either A, unnecessary data, which is 2.79 megabytes, that's nothing, but 11.7 gigabytes for the operating system. Wow. It explains why we need 4 gigs of RAM, and it also explains why there's only 52 gigs of storage left. Either way, definitely not a bad idea. Optimization, RAM, let me see how much RAM we have left out of the box. Out of the 4 gigs, we have 1.6 gigs that are used, and the rest is free. So it's not bad considering the fact that we have a lot of things running in the background. We'll go back, and then device security, that's just for it to optimize itself. Last but not least, we have applications, lock screen, and security. This is where you'll be able to set up your fingerprint sensor as well as the iris. So we'll go here, it says irises. We have pattern, pin, and password. So we're going to go with, let's say, pin. Here it says, gives us the disclaimer regarding the iris scanner. We'll just say OK. It says, get ready to unlock your device with a glance using an iris recognition. Hold the device about 10 to 14 inches away from your face. Continue. So for you guys, since this is on camera, I'm going to actually just tilt it this way. And so notification lock screen on, hide. We're going to say done. And let's see. Well, so the device is locked, and as soon as I swipe it up, the red light over here, the infrared sensor, this is the infrared sensor for the iris scanner, started blinking, and it recognized my eyes right away, and it unlocked it. Overall, let me just go ahead and open up the camera interface. Quick launch, yeah, keep turned on, and then next, okay. And then we'll go ahead and look here real quick at the device. The camera interface didn't really change that much. You have the ability of downloading different modes. You have the pages here, of course, to zoom in and switching over. It's telling us basically that we can take a picture using the back here. Okay, it's very nice, very quickly. I do like the fact that we can gesture switching between the front and the back facing camera. This used to be a button functionality, so that's something very good. Swiping from the right, we have the different filters. We can turn those on. You guys get to see here. Very standard. Obviously, one of the main reasons why we do get the Note is because of the S Pen, and it definitely doesn't disappoint. You're still able to unplug it, use it right on the screen, delete if you don't want it, and still have the same functionality. Let's go ahead and unlock the device. We have the functionalities, and we have all the different new options here. We'll definitely dive into this when we get into the full review. The benefit, of course, is waterproof, similarly to the actual Note 7, so you can use it in water. Also, you cannot put it in. If you try, it won't go in. So there's no more issues. There's no more pen gate or any issues like that, like the way we had it back with the Note 5. Definitely a very good, very solid offering, and I am loving the colors. I hope you guys could see this. The blue and gold are just very, very nice and very premium. Very, very nice. Let's go ahead and check out the Gear VR. Here we have the new Gear VR. Now it says right here compatible with the Note 7, S7, S7 Edge, Note 5, S6 Edge Plus, S6 and S6 Edge. The reason behind this is because it does have USB Type-C compatibility in here, and we'll get a chance to check that out real quick. It is all black, it's no longer white. It says Samsung Gear VR powered by Oculus. And here we are. We're greeted with the unit itself. It's actually a little bit different on the packaging. We have the visor. We'll get a chance to just remove all of the tape. And okay, we'll take all of that tape. The unit itself still has the same visor. It's a little bit of a see-through visor. Pop it up. It's actually more flush though, so when it's closed, you'll notice it's a little bit recessed. It's in here. It's all black, which I really like, but it actually is kind of more of a midnight blue coloring. I don't know, it's hard to see. So it's more of a midnight blue with black front. So the box, I thought it was actually black. So opening up the flap, we have the cover. We have the optics. This is just the mechanism that locks in the device. And on the left side, you'll notice right away a USB Type-C connector. And I say this because this is what it's intended. It's intended to work out of the box with the Note 7. So I'll get the Note 7 right now real quick. And the main thing you'll be able to do is just plug it in, put it in, well, pull it back, put it back in, and it's pretty much done. Now, it looks very nice and it works very good. What I wanted to show you guys real quick, we'll go ahead and take it out. Of course, my device is going to ask me to install the Gear VR software. We'll do that in a little bit and we'll cover that in the review. Overall, as far as the differentiators here, we do have a different adapter. It's a lock and unlock, so when I unlock it, I'm able to remove it. And this is the piece that we'll be able to change so that we can use a micro USB connector to use with the older versions of, let's say, the Note 5 or the S7 and the S7 Edge, as well as the S6 and S6 Edge Plus. For now, I'm going to keep it the way it is, and I'll show you guys the other adapter. Putting it back on is very simple. Make sure it's in the unlock position. Slide it back in, put it in the lock position, and it stays firmly on. As far as options, we still have the ability of configuring or adjusting the optics here. On the left side, or technically if you're looking at it on the right side, we have the home and the back button and the touchpad, volume up, volume down. On the bottom, we still have the pass-through. This is the ability to charge up our device as we're using it. A couple of vents. On the left side, from that point, there's nothing other than just Gear VR with Oculus, and we do have the straps. Not much really else on the configuration. The pads are pretty much the same. Very nice, very cushioning. There's a little bit more plastic here. Let me actually bring out the old Gear VR. So here we have both Gear VRs. This is the new one right here on the left. On the right side, we have the original one. You'll notice again, it's pretty much the same. The options here just says micro USB only. Here we have the ability of changing the plate to accessorize whichever you want. There's more of a split connection here, so there's no more light bleeding between two sections. Here, there's a little bit more opening. As far as on the left side, the pad on the left here for the actual new Gear VR is pretty much flat, where you had more ridges here on the current version that's compatible with the S7 and the S7 Edge. On the bottom, we still have the power connector, the vents. Not much really has changed. And on the right side, they just have the same imprint. As far as the actual padding and the information here, or the way it is, we pretty much still have the proximity sensor. It's still centered in where it is. The nose pad, everything is pretty much the same, and it feels almost the same. And then, yeah, same pretty much overall. Again, very much the same. I like the fact that they do have a USB Type-C connector here. Obviously, you want to make sure you always insert your device in the right way. Just because USB Type-C is reversible doesn't mean you can put the device the other way. It won't work. This is the box that came with it as well. Of course, we have a few other things in here. Instruction manual, nobody ever reads. And let's go ahead and take that out. So we have the straps that are actually pretty much the same. Two pieces. And here, this is what I wanted to check out. So what we have here is something very nice. This gives us the ability to, well, change this to the micro USB connector. So if I want to connect it to my S7 or S7 Edge, I can connect it using this, and I can still use the same Gear VR. And of course, we have a micro USB to USB Type-C connector. What I wanted to double check here is this Type-C. Yes, so that's another thing that's different. It's a USB Type-C connecting charging cable. So it's meant to be used with the Note 7. It's not really meant to be used with anything else. But if you're using an S7 Edge with this, they do provide you with an additional adapter. You're pretty much set. So as far as initial impressions of both the Gear VR and the Note 7, I have to say the Note 7 feels like a very solid device. The color scheme is very nice. The base fact that you can start it up at 64 gigs, there's no more 32 gigs as an option. It's very nice. Waterproofing, the S Pen can no longer be put in backwards. There's no more issues there. And of course, the S Pen sensitivity and functionality still exist. The edges are very nice. I like that round edge. It makes it feel almost like there is no edges, so that when you're looking at it, you almost see that the screen kind of ends where the display, where the actual device ends, and that's very nice. Overall, I'll see how this performs. I haven't had a Note since maybe 5-6 months now, and that was the Note 5. And I've switched over to the HTC 10, the S7 Edge. I've done different things just to basically kind of get an experience with different devices. As far as the Gear VR, I like the fact that they upgraded it. I like the fact that they went to USB Type-C. It's pretty much the standard. So if you haven't had an updated device that uses USB Type-C, sooner or later when you upgrade, you're going to notice that that's the standard. Now, this uses Type-C everywhere, so it connects to the Note 7 and it charges up from Type-C. But they do give you the ability to basically, use the older cables if you have them, as we probably have a lot more of those cables than Type-C. For me, I honestly don't think I have any more micro USB devices. I think all my devices are pretty much Type-C, at least the devices that I'm using. That tells you something. So I'll give you guys links in the description below if you'd like to pick one up. This is available on Amazon. It just got released at the same day as the Note 7. I think it's going for about $99. Of course, I picked it up from T-Mobile. This is a carrier version. I did a jump on demand. So for me, it's just a monthly cost. But for the Gear VR, if you have or you are picking up a Note 7, obviously you cannot use the original Gear VRs. You have to pick this up because there's no option to swap. And this is really nice. It's modular in the sense that you can convert it backwards to work with your standard S7 and S7 Edge. They're not giving it away free, which is a bummer because I would like it to be the same. But again, thank you for the support. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know in the comments below what you would like me to check out. I'm specifically going to do a review of the new Gear VR very soon, as well as the Note 7, and give you guys all my inputs, of course, video tests and all of those different things and what I like and I don't like. Like and subscribe, share if you like this video. Again, I'll see you guys in the next one.